matter because we've been talking about what a chemical reaction is, all of that stuff, but it's important to know that there's a difference between physical and chemical changes. So a physical change is altering a substance without changing its composition. So think yourself through this. You have a piece of paper in your hand. You fold the paper. Yeah, you've changed what it looks like, but the composition of the substance is still paper. Okay, now think again. You have that folded paper. Now you crumple the paper. Okay, your paper may be crumpled, but it's still paper. Like the composition of this material in your hand is still paper. Now you grab scissors and you cut the paper in strips. Okay, now you have pieces of paper. You got pieces that you've cut, but the composition is still paper. You can tear it, you can poke holes in it, you can do all of these things, but if at the end you still have the composition of paper in your hand, it's a physical change. So when you're thinking yourself through whether it's a physical or chemical change, it doesn't matter if there's more pieces or if it looks different, if the composition remains the same, as in you can still recognize it as paper, you can still recognize it as its original substance. It's a physical change. So things like cutting paper or breaking a plate or breaking a crystal, cutting flowers, it's still a flower. Sawing woods, yeah, you might have different pieces of wood, tearing, ripping, poking, cutting. All of those things denote a physical change. If we're talking about chemical changes, though, this is when you're altering a substance to change into a new substance. As in, when you ask yourself, do I still have the original substance? You say no. For example, when you leave something outside that's metal, it's going to rust. Rusting is an oxidation reaction, and you can look at it. When something rusts, it no longer looks like the original substance. It has different spots and it looks differently. When you burn wood, the end product is no longer recognizable as wood. It is like a charcoal. That's a chemical change. Words that are important to relate to chemical changes is rusting, oxidizing. Oxidizing is an actual type of reaction. So the reaction of chemical change is right in that word. Corroding, tarnishing. You might have heard, people that have to polish silver in order because it's tarnished. Well, tarnishing is like an oxidation reaction for, silvers and metals. And when you're polishing it, you're actually taking that top layer off in order to show it underneath. You're not reversing the reaction. Fermenting, that's a reaction. You just did an experiment on that. Burning, rotting, position. All of these are chemical changes because you're changing the substance to create a new substance.